He did. I just flipped over. He can see the vision. Ward comes down.
Drops a ward in the bush. He spotted Jwaow. He's going to go around, see if he's coming on the far side. He's going to grab Jree over the wall. Fail flash. Jree goes down for first blood to Ezreal.
Beautiful, beautiful play there. Fnatic pick up the first blood. That's going to give at least a Doran's Blade advantage to Ezreal in the bottom lane. And you got to think, that was a bit of an obvious rocket grab. They didn't come around the corner. You lost vision on them. And I was hoping he was going to snare a box, not a champion. But nevertheless, 4 assists and a failed flash blown.
Exactly. You're playing against Shesheko. What's he going to do? Set up boxes at blue buff or set up boxes at red buff? Well, we'll go around towards his red buff. We've got a blitzcrank. We can lead these charges. We'll interrupt. The boxes aren't actually in the thing itself. We'll fire through into the bush. We saw Jwaow just ran in that direction. So either he's got support there or he's going to get grabbed as he runs past. They picked up Jree instead. Unfortunately for him, he failed his flash over the wall in return and gave up first blood. You
got to think as well, even though he failed that flash, Fnatic may potentially have chased that one. You know, they got him very, very low. They may have actually been, that might have been a much more dramatic fight if they did flash over the wall. But
if Fnatic had flashed over the wall, they'd either need to all flash over the wall or they'd have given up first blood because there was more members of the Seamen waiting on that side to jump on their face. So, I don't know. It'd been interesting to see how it does shape up. But needless to say, Jree is now the one that's down. And Peke is actually having a little bit of trouble here in the mid lane with Syndra. Spamming out those balls is starting to cause him a little bit of an issue. And I've just realized we have Seamen playing with balls. And we have a little bit of a...
So Tsibastian in this middle lane, he's leaving some of the balls around the map just to play a little bit of a zoning game before he decides to cast or recast his abilities. Takes a bit more poke than he needed to because he missed his skill shot in effect. He's going to miss the secondary one. Peke is just able to walk out of range of after that little 0.5 second delay before the damage actually gets landed. Come on attack, followed by the dissonance almost. Now Kottenx is coming in from behind. There comes the slow. Red buff is going to apply huge crit, 105 damage. Exhaust has been down, but immediately flashing to safety. Means Peke gets behind his tower and prevents giving up a kill in reply. But really, really good damage from the Seamen.
Peke's taken a lot of poke here. In fact, he's gone through all his health potions before level 3. I don't even think he's played against Syndra once, in all fairness. Like, he's really having issues here against Tsibastian. And that could play very much into the Seasick Sailor's favor. Syndra is a great assassin. You can spam out one ball, use it as a stun, land another one, pick up the original one, throw it onto Peke, slow him, do a lot of damage, then use your ultimate, and it will land a massive big nuke. And Rated is going to get ganked by Kottenx down to the bottom lane. Kottenx get grabbed in under the turret, knocked up, takes one turret shot too many and will fall, but Rekkles is being exhausted. Kestrel is leaping in, does finish him off. Jree gets the last hit for the kill, and takes the double buff.
And this is going to be very, very scary. He applies the red buff. Power Fist goes up. Going to carry on chasing. I don't know if that potion's going to be enough. Enrated needs 1 or 2 more attacks. Is the Rupture going to land? If Sinai can get it, it will be a kill. Both champions pull back. Rocket Fist is going to be able to get it. He lands that rocket grab and picks up the kill. Immediately counterplay. The scary thing here is for me now that Jree on that Fiddlesticks has a blue buff. He's going to be able to spamming those dark winds out all day long. He's going to be able to drain and fear as much as he likes. Middle lane, Tsibastian is being forced back by Peke. He was losing the initial trades, but now that he's got a couple more levels, he's able to trade a little bit more evenly. Up in the top lane, Soaz gets ignited. This is a huge battle back and forth, every single lane exchanging. But I want to quickly go down to the bottom. The way Kottenx engaged, he was sitting just over here, used his Deceive to hop over the wall, get out of turret range and out of turret vision, and come in from behind with stealth. It was a really, really great play.
Tsibastian taking one shot too many from the turret, and Peke levels up to save his life. Kottenx comes back in to try and throw a shift, gets shielded instead. Peke has so much more mana than he thought, and he's just got that shield enough to go. The last auto attack though from Tsibastian was in mid-air as Peke got the kill. Peke leveled up and got the health back that he needed, and that alone saved his life.
Level WTF, level WTF. 2,000 gold difference. Enrated tries to land a rocket grab. This time only grabs the very, very front minion. That's going to accomplish absolutely nothing. Up in this top lane, 35 CS for Rengar to 16 for Irelia. That is an immense difference right now, especially on a champion like Irelia who, you know, she can do very, very well at low levels, but she needs to pick up that Phage, needs to pick up a Wit's End or something similar, and then she can really snowball the lane very heavily.
Unfortunately here for the Seasick Seamen, they are down by 2,000 gold already. So, I mean, bottom lane, they're going to have a little bit of advantage here for a little while because, of course, Jace is going to get that little bit of free farm while Fiddlesticks has that blue buff and the red buff and can start spam harassing on these two. But ultimately, I don't think it's really going to help them out in the grand scheme of things. You can already see he's down 15 CS and Rekkles. Although he gets feared, he's now going to get Sinai, get left in on by Kestrel. Does get that arcane shift away. is now taking a lot of damage from and rated. That Blitzcrank really actually quite hurts, especially onto Kestrel, the AD carry version of Jace.
In the middle lane, they tried to jump onto him, but they couldn't put anything together, unfortunately. Jree's buffs have just worn out. Rocket Grab just barely missing the back of the surprise party Fiddlesticks, almost catching him out and almost securing potentially another kill. But of course, that Dark Wind, when it bounces between two champions, like you can see it was about to do, actually deals a lot of damage, and that silence is infuriating. Peke getting ganked once again. He's decided to turn the pressure on. Attacks come out. Shockwave only manages to catch Kottenx. It did not land into Tsibastian. The auto attacks are there. Uses the command attack once more. Is going to be able to pick up a kill. And the 7 Seasick Seamen put another point on their board. Cyanide was running in there with those boots of mobility. You can see he has an Oracle's Elixir. He's displaying it to his opponents. That when he drinks it, it makes it very clear that he now is clearing wards. Sunrise just dinged 6, so he's going to be able to move around, throw on that Hunter in the Night, or on the Hunt rather, pick up the stealth and get to safety if required. But nevertheless, a kill for Shaco is going to help him out after that slow start.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit better if it had gone to Cinder. Of course, Shaco not the best late game carry. Just needs to get these ganks off early, do a lot of damage in the lane, and then allow his carries to pick up the kills. But considering they are down 4 and 2 at the moment, just killing that around and giving Peke some time out of lane, giving Cinder some time to farm is a bonus. He is now 10 CS up over Peke, so it will help him out ever so slightly. He started with those spell pen boosts, that movement speed really will help Cinder getting in range, landing all abilities, then on top of the slow, and of course dodging the ball when Peke throws it out every time. And
Cinder's base damages are incredibly high. Without even purchasing too much ability power, she can literally blow you off the face of the earth. So Peke's going to need to be on the ball, excuse the pun, with his command protect and make sure he gets it up in time to at least mitigate some of the damage, and of course if possible just flash to safety. He does have it available, as does he have his Ignite. Shockwave will be available shortly. Rocket Grab once again catching a creep on this bottom line, and after that high octane start to the game, we've settled into this farming phase, as we do tend to see around the 8, 9, 10 minute mark. I'd like to see at what point the teams decide to start doing Dragon, because we've seen some very, very early Dragons throughout this tournament.
That's a very good point, especially when you've got Fiddlesticks here on the side of the 7 Seasick Seamen. We do have Cyanide coming in the bottom lane. The knockup is going to land Jree. The grab's already been used. The silence hits both of them. Kestrel trying to do a good job to dodge to block what skills as he can. Reckles lands the ultimate. The Ignite is ticking down. He's a flash under turret, but Fnatic have not lost much health at all. But it does look like the Seasick Seamen made it out alive.
Yeah, really nicely done. It was an awesome fear onto Blitzcrank. As soon as he was getting in range to land a Rocket Grab, Jree immediately knew what was going on. He threw that fear out. It prevented a Rocket Grab or a Power Fist from landing, and it just bought them enough time to get away. And also, of course, the acceleration gate from Jace, just giving them that movement speed advantage to get out of range once the silence had worn off and the fear. So 2 to 4, bottom lane tower takes a chunk of damage. Middle lane, once again, looking like it's setting up a stun onto Peke. He takes some attacks and actually forced a flash. Shockwaves under the tower, completely missing everything. Now the Rupture comes up. Feral Scream gets used by Cyanide, but completely whiffing that ultimate. He was anticipating a dive, and he was trying to put as much damage down as possible. Shaco's little clone running forward, trying to pick up some kills. And look at the damage from Syndra already. Wave clearing with a single Doran's Ring. It's a very, very powerful base damage as champion.
Now, Peke, without that shockwave, now it's going to give Cinder a little bit of safety. She knows she can get in close. She knows she doesn't have to be scared or worried of being pulled into the turret. She can spam those balls down and then unload onto Peke. Does take a little bit of damage as he comes back around from that Wraith camp. Both of them have their blue buff up, but Cyanide now here with his oracles. He's just roaming around towards the mid lane, clearing wards as he goes. But Cinder coming a little bit too far forward. He's going to get caught by the knockup right in the middle. Kottenx is going to come in, but there's a massive amount of burst damage. Tsibastian will fall. Cyanide did use his feasting on that. Peke now out of mana. Kottenx is here under the turret. Going to try and avoid that ball before that blue buff really regens too much of Peke's mana. But now, blue buffs are both back onto the side of Fnatic. Yep,
by stealing away that blue buff, that's really going to help Cyanide out. He's already 1-0-1, he's got those boots of mobility, but the fact that he's going to be able to donate this next blue buff when it comes up around about the 12-minute mark, and he's going to continue farming for another minute or two with the stolen buff, it's just going to help his clear times, it's going to help him cooldown reduction. If he starts to set up ganks or something similar, that's going to play into his favor as well. So it's a really, really good pickup on his side, a great kill to secure. 2,000 gold difference. Soaz has returned to lane with his Giant's Belt as well as the Chain Vest. Still holds that 20 CS advantage over Jwaow, but he's playing a little bit scared. In the bottom lane, Enrate is trying to get into range. Fear is up. Kestrel realizes now that the Cho'Gath is there. Rupture and Silence goes down. Reckles is trying to pick up the kill onto Jree. He misses the Mystic shot. Now Kestrel's going to jump forward. Finally goes down. Reckles is going to back off just a little bit, get out of range. Enough for Cho'Gath to pick up a second kill on the game. 2 assists, shoved down the lane, and this is probably going to signal Dragon.
It should signal the Dragon, especially as mid lane has just backed off to Kottenx has backed off. Mid lane is actually making his way towards the top side. Tsibastian is here. He's going to come up around behind Soaz. Soaz leaps in onto Jwaow. The Ignite goes down. He does immediately go into stealth. They know where he's going. Heading down towards the river. He hasn't quite come out of the stealth yet. Jwaow goes to find him. Now they spot him. Does pop that W for getting a little bit of health back, but ultimately makes his way into his friendly jungle and he's out to safety. Tsibastian is just here to end up pushing this lane into turret.
Yeah, just going to shove it down. Nice play, nice positional play. Unfortunately, going that extreme long way around, it bought Rengar the time to run through the river. And of course, because he was stealthed up, you couldn't stun him, you couldn't jump onto him, you couldn't put any more damage down, and he gets away with his life, holding that CS advantage and most likely going to be able to complete his Sunfire Cape right now. See how much gold he has. 1,000 in the bank, and yes, Sunfire Cape completed. This is what we've seen out of him in the previous game as well, opting to go Sunfire Cape on Malphite first, following it up with a Philosopher's Stone. Pickett realizes he's in a little bit of trouble. Come on, attack, Dissonance, Shockwave. He's keeping Tsibastian away from him. Does take a stun. Ignite is ticking. Look at the damage onto Kottenx. Does he pick it up? He picks up the kill before he goes down, and then Tsibastian closes him out. Really, really good play. He knew exactly which one was the real Kottenx. Cyanide's going to carry on chasing. Feral Scream is going to land the silence. Tsibastian just jukes past and eats a feast. One more auto attack. Burns his exhaust as well. And the clone of Shaco finally goes down. Cyanide 3-0-2 once again. The 7 Seasick Seamen, they create opportunities. They put themselves in a good position, but Fnatic simply reply a little bit more effectively.
Yeah, and we're going to see Enrate go straight in onto Kestrel in the bottom lane, but there's the ult comes up from Jree with a nice bait forward. Going to try and stick onto Enrate. They're going to do a lot of damage to him, but he's a very, very tanky support. He's going to flash, miss the grab onto Jree as Reckles shows up, trying to do a lot more return damage onto Reckles. Enrate is still standing. The mana shield has been burned through. Reckles will fall down. Oh, sorry, Reckles will pick up Kestrel. Fear's going to run Reckles actually in the right direction towards Jree. Jree's going to keep coming because Kottenx is down here now. The silence has been used, but the Kottenx do have the damage to go through the pair of these. Does dodge that Mystic shot by dodging it onto a minion. Now Cyanide is now coming around the backside. Jree going to get caught by that silence. He can be feasted, but Reckles is going to finish him off with a couple of auto attacks himself. The grab lands onto Kottenx in stealth, and Reggie doesn't realize it. The shiv goes in the backside. There's the following knockup, but Kottenx will get the kill before he falls down to Enrate.
Up in the top lane, so isn't Jwaow fighting the whole time. That rocket grab, nobody even knew that Shaco was there. He was just out of range. He'd stealthed, he'd used the deceive, and he got pulled right back into 3 members of Fnatic. Jwaow's dive forward. He's trying to pick up a kill onto Soaz. Decides not to carry on chasing because he did use the Blade Search to close the distance. And at the moment, Fnatic 12-4 up, 7,000 gold at the 14-minute mark. Once again, top lane going back and forth. Soaz jumping out of the bush, and Ignite is there. Carries on chasing. One more attack. Is it enough? Jwaow somehow survives. Soaz gets away. Thanks to the health and the armor, he survives the turret hit as well. But that top lane is incredibly volatile, even with a 30 CS advantage. It's, you know, Irelia still trading evenly.
That's just straight up Irelia. Why is Wicked love her so much? She's awesome.
Nerf Irelia.
Yes, nerf Irelia. But a quick battle cry will give Soaz plenty of his health back and push that wave into turret 2, so he's going to base go and shot by a couple more health potion by Bad Merc Treads, tier 2 boots. We do have Enrated now hiding in the mid lane with Peke, waiting for someone to come back to lane. It's not going to happen. He's just going to have to help him push down this turret. The CS advantage the Syndra used to have has been swung back in the other direction now because of these kills. Kottenx will stealth out, come into the mid lane, try and land that slow. Jree's going to come up behind her. Will he have the feed? He's going to get grabbed into the turret by Enrated. Doesn't take any shots, but he does take a lot of damage from the combo of Peke and Enrated. Blitzcrank and Orianna do have now Syndra back. Kestrel's in here too. The all 5 members of the Seamen are here hiding in this mid lane, pushing onto this mid turret slowly but surely. They realize it's not going to happen through this Orianna as a Blitzcrank. They do have to back away. Now Enrated is charging in onto Kestrel. Does get knocked back. Where's the grab? Is going to land. Knockup's going to go through. The Shockwave's going to miss completely. It's a second miss from Peke this game. Kestrel will fall down to a quick knockup from Cyanide. Peke is taking the burst from Syndra there. He's going to drop down to Kottenx. Syndra is taking a lot of damage from Enrated just in auto attacks. He's going to get knocked back slightly. He's going to get chased under this tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Fear comes up from Enrated onto Jree. Jree onto Enrated at the last second. It does save his life. Cyanide, however, managed to pick up the kill onto Kottenx in the Seaman jungle.
Yeah, with a beautiful rupture. It was blind. He couldn't see Shaco. He was deceived and invisible. But Cyanide knew exactly what the movement speed was. He predicted where it was going to be. And of course, it's a very large radius on that rupture. It covers a fairly good chunk of ground. And in the jungle, it's only so wide. The entire width was covered by that rupture. So he managed to secure himself the 4th kill of the game. 4-0-5 on this jungle Cho'Gath. Cyanide, we've said time and time again, he's not particularly known for his Cho, but he's playing extremely, extremely well. I do see we have an update here about the matchup, so while Pinky's having a quick look at that to read it for us, we take another quick look at the gold. You can see the numbers on the bottom of your screen, 4,000 in the top lane to 5,300. And just look at the numbers, how much of a difference there is.
It's an update on our tiebreaker situation. So while there's a little bit of downtime in this game, we will go through these. Game 1, we know, Curse lost to Midgets. Now it got us off the bat and right before this semi-final started. Game 2, Copenhagen Wolves beat the Midgets. And Copenhagen Wolves versus Curse is currently in progress. That is the game we're waiting for a result on. This game, 16 minutes in, we know Curse had to win in less than 26 minutes to advance. Jree's going to go on and affect Peke, in actual fact, in the mid lane. Can't quite get in range to do most of the damage on that ultimate, though. We'll wait and see. We do get a great grab onto Jree, and that executes him with the help of Peke, even through the exhaust.
Up in the top lane now, Kottenx tries to pick a fight with Soaz, but it's not one that he can really trade with evenly. That Sunfire Cape and Merc trades, it's going to block a lot of magic damage, a lot of armor, and it just allows him to tick over the DPS. In the bottom lane, Syndra and Ezreal are poking head-to-head. This is the battle that's going on. Exhaust goes down. Rekkles is moving back to his tower. They're trading damage. Look at the burst onto Rekkles. He gets away with around about 100 HP. The rest of his team is forcing a fight onto this middle lane. Kottenx dropped very, very low. One auto attack goes up, but it's not going to be enough to kill him. 17 minutes. They're onto the inhibitor now. This is potentially the fastest game that we have had here at DreamHack Winter. The ultimate from Shaco detonates, dealing some damage to Fnatic members, but it's not going to dissuade them. They want this inhibitor. They will not give up on this inhibitor, and they're going to dive into it. Enrated misses his rocket grab. With the super creeps in the middle lane now spawning, Fnatic fall back, and they're extremely happy with what they've just picked up.
Yeah, 17 minutes in here, but it's going to give him a lot of map control, a lot of freedom. They're not quite finished yet. Jree does get a bit of hope from Peke. The grab over the wall doesn't quite land. Enrated is a little bit too far to the left, so as now out in the middle lane, Kestrel going to dance a recall, gets snared up, straight burst down. There's the following chain knockup. Kestrel will drop down to Soaz. Jwaow is now trying to get through Peke, but he cannot quite get through with the damage. Another missed ultimate from Peke, really off his game with those shockwaves today. Jwaow will make it out alive. Great stun from Cinder, hitting 3 members of Fnatic. We'll now try and throw that ball onto the creeps just to finish him off and wave clear it. They have found Kottenx in the jungle. Peke will grab that kill. 5 to 18.
Wards win games, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. Kottenx stood in the ward. He had no idea that it was there. Now all of a sudden, Tsibastian's going to pick a fight 1 versus 4. He's going to put a lot of damage down, but not enough to secure a kill. And you know what? Unfortunately, you cannot go in 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4. Fnatic have still not recalled. This is the same inhibitor siege that we were watching 2 minutes ago, and they are still fighting. They are still pushing these lanes, picking up the creeps, collecting all the gold. And a couple of the guys have spent it, but you know, good chunks of gold. Ezreal, 8,000 gold. Jace, 4,000 gold. It is an immense difference. Soaz does finally get caught up. He's going to try to get away with the stealth. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It is going to be enough. He just activates that ultimate, runs away, and gets away from 3 members of Seamen.
Does just pops that stealth, walks on out there, ungankable Rengar. We do see Kottenx stealthing over the wall, trying to get onto Cyanide. He lands the slow, going to drop the box down there. We'll fear Cyanide briefly. Jree's now coming around one side, but I don't think between these two they have the damage to go through this guy. Knockup's going to go down onto the fake Kottenx. The fear's going to come out and silence on Cyanide. Jree starts channeling his ult, but Cyanide does not take it any damage. This is a comedy sketch. Cyanide will finally get very, very low. Quick to see. There's the feat. And Enrated comes in with the grab to save. There's the shield from Peke. Is he going to stop the ignite? The last tick of ignite will wear off. Cyanide gets out on 28 HP. The rest of Fnatic keep chasing in. Double kill for Enrated. Going in on towards Syndra. Rekkles manages to pick up that kill with the help of Peke. Kestrel is on his own. Running back to this tier 3 turret. And the inhibitor turret in the bottom lane. Doesn't make it out safely.
Fnatic with the plays. Command Protect was enough to save Cyanide's life, and that rocket grab ended Shaco's. What a fantastic, fantastic play. I believe that surrender vote has come in, and the 7 Seasick Seamen have been deleted. Fnatic